Nice! A mobile Disgaea game! I bet it's just like the console ones. Wait, how do I unlock this function? Where do I get gems? What am I supposed to do here? Hello everyone, JC here with another Disgaea RPG video. Today we'll talk about how to progress at the start of the game. This isn't meant to be an explanation of every facility and function in the game, but the steps you should take when first starting the game. Before you start rolling, I suggest you check the Gacha section. Now then, the first piece of advice is to make sure you log in every day to get as many rewards as possible. You get a ton of rewards from the login bonus, so make sure to log in every day. The most important rewards are probably Edna and the 10 roll tickets. Even if you don't use the units you get from this roll for most content, you will use them to farm events. There are special units on each event which receive a point drop increase. General pool unit, platinum pool units, and F2P units are usually in this list, and the point drops increase the more any levels they have, so be sure to use any dupes to increase the any level of your characters. Nowadays it's possible to use friend units without any level restrictions. That means that if you befriend someone with a max level unit, you will be able to use them immediately. What you want to get is a friend who has Overlord Asagi. This unit is essential for new players, as it is self-sufficient thanks to her SP gen and cheap AoE, allowing her to clear stages quickly. When building a team to get carried by your friend, remember to leave one free slot. You can use up to 5 characters simultaneously in a battle, so if you have a full team, you will have to wait for your units to take their turn and then swap them with your friend's unit. To avoid this, just make a team with 4 units so that your friend's character gets immediately in battle. There are many rewards you can get from missions. When you start the game, you get a special tab with beginner missions. Be sure to complete them as soon as possible, as some of them unlock certain features. There's also the daily and weekly missions. The dailies you can complete all of them. The weekly missions are not as important because they force you to use resources that you may not want to use. Just grab the rewards whenever they're done. The repeatable missions constantly give you resources. You can farm them if you want. There is a way to farm 4-star prenis with these missions to increase the star level of your units quickly, but I wouldn't recommend to focus on that if you're starting the game. The progression missions are similar to the beginner's missions. They are once-in-a-lifetime missions that give you various resources, and similar to the weekly missions, you shouldn't focus on farming these. Just claim them whenever they are done. Now that we're done with the basics, it's time to start talking about how you should progress in the game. First thing you want to do is clear all the stages of whatever event is available with 3 stars. This will give you a nice amount of quartz and the ability to farm the 500% more points stage each day. For beginners it's important to farm the event more than dailies, as you will get more materials than you would with dailies. Talking about dailies, that's the next thing you want to do. With your overpowered supporter, be sure to clear all stages or as many as you can with 3 stars. When you clear a stage with 3 stars, you get the ability to use skip tickets. But be careful, because event stages use a different kind of skip tickets, which are rarer than the ones you use on dailies. If you want to know more about the resources, check my game economy video. Every day you want to farm 3 stages of each daily quest for reincarnation materials, until you have more than you need. Then just farm the quest 11 through 15, as the reincarnation statues are still very rare. You also want to farm the gold stages every day, but in this case, unlock every stage and only farm the last 3. Most players farm gold on event stages, so there's no need to farm every single daily for gold. The EXP gates are best left alone until you have enough resources for reincarnation. Maybe just unlock them, but don't farm them, because you don't get enough resources to reach max level at the start of the game. When you have around 750 level 3 reincarnation statues, you can get 5 units to level 7900. Then you can start tackling more challenging content and try to reach max level. When there's no event, you want to farm the story, anecdotes, and the most badass contest to get nether quartz. But you can only get a limited amount of nether quartz from this. Fortunately, it's a huge amount. Now that we mentioned the quartz, it's time to talk about the gacha. Before you roll, you have to understand that there are many traits a character can have, and each trait divides them into different groups. Check the character list on the wiki, look at what character you like and what kind of team you would like to build. Check reviews, and ask if a unit is good before you roll for it. It's not necessary to roll on whatever banner is available when you start. For example, soon enough we'll get the Disgaea 6 banner, and not one of those units is really worth your quartz. On the other hand, badass banners are very good for new players, as they have higher 4-star drop rate and a ton of carries on their pool. Ultimately, you should be the one to decide when or what to roll for. Just be sure to get as much information as possible on what you're rolling to avoid regretting your decision. After getting good units and leveling them up, the next thing you should do is focus on getting good equipment, and for that, you need to go to the item world. Each 10 floors a boss will appear, and it will have a chance to drop an item. Farm floor 30 as it has a higher drop rate. The item they drop has a rank higher than the one you were on. That also means the stats are higher. You'll have to repeat this process until you reach rank 40, which is the limit right now. After that, you need to get a legendary item which comes from a green chest and has a maximum level of 100. After getting your legendary equipment, consider using alchemy on them to get extra effects. Check my alchemy video for more details. Now that you have a character with high level and good equipment, you can start tackling challenging content. The first thing you should try is to beat character gates, which give you crystal to exchange for F2P units. There's also the Conquest Battle, which requires that you use character with specific traits to beat a series of battles, but you can't put the character you used previously on your team. Overlord Tower is a series of challenges designed to challenge players on each stage of the game. Nowadays it's pretty easy to beat, and it gives you a good amount of rare resources. Next are raids. Fortunately, you don't have to tackle max level raids to farm them. In fact, you don't have to have high level at all, but if you want to get more rewards from the latter, then you need to go further beyond and test the limits of your strength, as well as your team building abilities. Well, that's it for today, guys. I know the Crux video will be a little bit late, but even so I will do it because he's a staple, and many of us will use it in the future. If you like the video, share, like, subscribe. See you then!